Hello trophy hunters, welcome back to another trophy list review. Today we are looking at Skip to the End's trophy list with a whopping, 205 platinums. My banner there is a little bit out of date, it says 204. He's since earned another one, I have no idea what that might be. And yeah, that's a lot of platinums, man, so that's already really good. Who knows if they're going to be on the easier side, maybe there's some rarer ones, that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? And then he's got a very reasonable 58.24% completion ratio there, and that's quite similar to my own. I'm in the nearly at the mid 60s, so I was hovering around high 50s a couple years ago maybe. It's nice to see a trophy list that doesn't strive for perfection. Perfection is quite hard to achieve, and there's so much cherry picking. I'd much rather a natural, more organic list. You play what you want, and that's already the gist that I'm getting from this list, to be honest. So hopefully that's the case. But anyway, let's have a look. Loads to get through, absolutely loads of platinum. So I'll probably just skip any I don't know about and put some more info about it just below where these trophy awards are even, which as usual I do at the end of the review. And as you can see, there's a few awards to give, and that'll be at the end. That's usually in the last 20 minutes. Alright, let's see if, like one of my favourite trophy types, I can speedrun a lot of these games that I don't know about. So all we got to do is hide our trophies, and then we get right to it. So skip to the end, 205, alphabetical order, and 58% completion. Very nice. First on your list is 2064, read-only memories. A game I don't know about, although no, I do know this one. It's a visual novel. I've seen a trailer on it. It looks pretty decent, but no idea on how it is. The only thing I'll say is it's on Vita as well. I prefer to play games on my Vita, especially a visual novel. I still need to get Steins Gate, for example, and play that on my Vita. One of my favourite games of all time, and is a visual novel. So a nice niche genre already. 7% as well. That's actually quite rare. That's interesting. A Hat in Time, 3 out of 10, 20 hours, 27%, reasonable. Bit of DLC that you don't have, but I don't know that one, so we'll move on. Plague Tale Innocence, I do know. There's 2 games in this series, and I'm not sure if this is the sequel or the first one. I have both. Maybe they were on Plus, I can't remember. But 3 out of 10, 15 hours. Difficulty doesn't really matter on this one. This game is just interesting. It's high fidelity. It's got a high concept of, Victorian kind of London and plague and rats and stuff. It's got a really good identity. And I don't really care how easy or hard a game is when it interests me so much. So these are 2 games I want to play. And 43% rarity is, not really the lowest, but it's going to be a good game. I know it is. So I look forward to playing that, to be honest. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And then we've got the, the very, very notorious co-op game A Way Out. I do wonder if I would enjoy this with my partner. We do play a lot of co-op games together, but not usually couch co-op. I'm not really sure what we've tried couch co-op. Maybe like Jedi Power Battles even. Maybe some Divinity 2, but they're not really high octane, a bit slower RPGs or janky PS1 games. So I wonder what like a fully fledged split screen experience would be like. I imagine it'd be cool, and it's 2 out of 10. This is an easy platinum, but playing it, someone I think is the way to play these games, isn't it? And I've got to get Split Fiction at some point, so that's a nice one. And Alan Wake 2, I've mentioned before that I want to play, but I'm unsure whether I should go back and play the more janky Alan Wake 1. Probably find that harder to deal with, and I'm not really a fan. I do it sometimes, so I'm not really a fan of jumping to a sequel without having played the original properly. I think I played Alan Wake 1 on the Xbox a little bit when I went over to the other side. Not for long, don't worry. But yeah, I did play it then, and well, now it's remastered and on the PlayStation. So to delve into this franchise, I would need to, probably enjoy Control and Alan Wake 1. So we'll see about it. But yeah, very popular, 44%. Even all the DLC is nearly 14%, so that's interesting. But yeah, that's obviously a a very cool AAA survival horror, and I look forward to trying it out one day. And then you've got a wicked older PS3 game. I hope to see a lot of PS3 games on this list. That would really make me happy, to be fair. Alice Madness Returns. This is something I started, and I might have traded in. I may have even borrowed it off a friend. And I think one of my best friends has this. I'll have to ask her, because I'm not sure. Because I'm going to ask to borrow it back. Because I've seen it in CEX today, actually. I went to town today, and it's £40. And I can't be spending 40 quid on a game I started, dropped off, and then 10, 11, 12 years later want to, replay just to get the trophies. So yeah, hopefully I can borrow that at some point. But yeah, wicked game. It's dark, It's like, if anyone's ever seen that sequel film to Alice in Wonderland, which is literally called Alice Returns, I believe. Really cool, darker tone. There's monsters and murder, and it's just a bit cooler. This is a lot of blood, a lot of high fantasy. It's like a third-person melee game in a way. But yeah, really cool identity and very unique. Very unique indeed. So yeah, this is a cool game. And that's interesting. If you've still got this game, it's worth quite a lot, and it will only go up as well, so maybe hang on to it. And then we're looking at Ape Escape, which I do want to play. It's an easier PS1 classic, obviously with all the classic games in the PlayStation catalog available to everyone. I sound like an advert, I'm really not. But you've got the rewind feature, right? You've got save, load states, which means you can save and load at any point. And you've got the rewind feature where you can go back in time a whole minute, I believe. Any point of any game, you go back a whole minute and replay a mistake or anything like that. You want to do better than you did. You don't want to get hit. You want to keep on to that health. So every PS1 game re-release has that, and the PSP games, all the classics. So very easy, of course, but Ape Escape is iconic, right? It is literally a piece of PlayStation history, and I need to play it. I've never played an Ape Escape, so it's something I want to do, and I will. But still, 30%, even with the rewind, is a pretty low rarity, to be fair. And then you've got 4 Assassin's Creed games. I'm usually quite harsh on Assassin's Creed games in general, and then I think in the last review I lightened up on them a bit. No one said anything about them, no one's changed my mind. It's just, I do really enjoy the Assassin's Creed games that I've played, which is mainly Black Flag and 1 and 2. I think it is a bit oversaturated, releasing one every year like they did is insane. And yeah, it's cool if you love the franchise and you're like, yeah, new content every year, but I can hardly keep up with the games that people release, every 3 or 4 years, like Resi or whatever, and Tekken and, whatever else. One game per generation, I'm still struggling with. So to have one to play every year, and now it's too far gone for me, right? How many Assassin's Creeds are there? 12? 13? I don't even know. And Platinums with remasters and re-releases, probably even more. So it becomes a very tall order for someone to get into. That being said, I would play Assassin's Creed 2 and probably Black Flag, maybe Assassin's Creed 3 remastered on the Vita, something like that. I think I've already started that and it's part of my back catalogue, for example. I'm not very interested in the new one, Shadows or Origins or Odyssey, these newer ones. But I would give Mirage a go. That's probably where I should jump back in. Maybe they release an older style one every now and again. So yeah, that would be cool. So yeah, that's how I feel about Assassin's Creed at the moment. A couple of Astrobots, which I won't go into much. I got 100% recently, but I'm missing the newer game. It's Game of the Year. I'm always happy to see these games in the list because they are a celebration of PlayStation, and I think there's some games that are missing from that. I really enjoyed PlayStation All-Stars, the old fighting game on Vita and PS3. That was like it was like Smash Brothers, but with PlayStation characters. But mainly it was like a celebration. There were different outfits for everyone, loads of different characters from the different series, and it was just wonderful. That kind of has taken a step back, and Astrobot is now the celebration game of PlayStation. I wish there were a few more. Even a re-release of All Stars would be really cool. I imagine licensing with the third-party characters would be a bit crazy. Isaac Clarke is in that game as DLC, for example, who anyone doesn't know. So yeah, but yeah, Wicked Platinums, very nice. And then we've got Batman, the Telltale series. I think I've played this one because I think there's 2 of them, and I've definitely got 1 at the Platinums. But in all honesty, I cannot remember this game whatsoever. Zero memory. It's just a Telltale game, right? You pick your choices, you enjoy the narrative as you play it, but you're really only playing it for trophies. I played The Walking Dead 3 times for trophies, and yeah, I'm the first to admit I only play Telltale games for the trophies. Still, I always enjoyed the variety of franchises they would tackle, and there's some really good games in there, you know, Borderlands and Walking Dead and a couple of others. So yeah, it's a good Platinum, and I would never like point my nose up at any Telltale game because they are enjoyable. I want to play the Jurassic Park one actually on the old PS3. Then we have just a couple of Battlefield games. Battlefield 1 here is something I platinumed this week actually, on my actual birthday, whilst waiting to go out, you know, in the evening. I played Battlefield 1 for most of the day and I got the platinum in it. So that's my most recent one, and it's brilliant. Mostly it's single player stuff for the trophies. I've done all the multiplayer trophies and requirements years ago. We're talking, you know, 2018 or something. But the game holds up so well. Battlefield games just feel like Battlefield, and that's why 2042 was such a disappointment to me, because it just didn't feel like Battlefield. It wasn't the setting, it wasn't, you know, anything like that. It was the maps, it was the characters, and you know, you're not a no-name soldier in 2042. You're an Overwatch character with varying personality and like really cringy voice lines. You know, it's terrible. It is a lot better now, but going back and playing Battlefield 1 as much as I did was fantastic. So if anyone's sitting on any old Battlefield games that are still active, I was able to get a game instantly. This game is 8 years old, for Christ's sake. So I would really recommend it. Same with Battlefield 4. I went and got Battlefield 4 on PS3 and PS4 with no problems. The games were full, everyone was playing it. The only trouble I had was finding any DLC maps, and that's kind of the same with Battlefield 1. But yeah, brilliant platinums, and I'm glad to see a couple of them here. Next up, BioShock. Jealous of this platinum. It may only be 3 out of 10 in 15 hours, but I think this is quite a difficult game. Isn't there a trophy where you can't die or regenerate or whatever dying is considered in this? That might be only on the PS3 stack, and this may be an easier list on the PS4. Still, it's 11%, and it's got DLC, which I don't remember having, you know, DLC trophies for. So yeah, jealous of this platinum, and it's a brilliant game. I'm playing System Shock at the moment. That's the only one I'm playing. You got Blair Witch by what are they called, Bloober Team. This, along with that other game, gave them the keys to Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm kind of curious to go back into their back catalogue a little bit, and seeing how much I enjoy this Blair Witch and that other survival horror, which I can't remember the name of, but is very, very similar to Silent Hill. And people were impressed enough, you know, Konami must have been impressed enough to give them the keys to the remake of Silent Hill 2. So there must be some good there, so that's cool. You have to let me know how that is. And then we have the mighty, out of nowhere, 8 out of 10 Bloodborne. 50 hours. I love this game. It is, if any game could be, you know, a sequel announced or a remaster or even a re-release, even a 60 FPS patch would be acceptable. With no new trophies, just patch it. It would be this game. But now, you know, Nintendo have beaten PlayStation to the punch. They're releasing that Duskborn. Come on, Sony. Just let them make Bloodborne 2. It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. But yeah, this game's fantastic. It taught me Dark Souls. I got Soulsborne because of Bloodborne. I was really bad at Dark Souls, really bad at Demons on the PS3. I remember talking, you know, about them at work at the time, and I just could not believe that people could platinum these games. They were so, that concept was so foreign to me, so far away from what I was capable of. And it wasn't until Bloodborne came out that I gave it a real go. Realised I was pretty good at it, and Bloodborne teaches you to be fast on your feet. And I applied a lot of my fighting game mentality to Soulsborne. You know, you're basically 1v1 versus another opponent with recovery and active frames in a way, and that's how I tackle these Soulsborne games. Don't get me wrong, I'm still terrible. I'm playing Elden Ring Night Rain at the moment, and I'm really bad at it, man. And my team is good, I'm not getting it yet. So yeah, I really appreciate Bloodborne. It taught me to be good at other games, and hopefully I can get on with Night Rain and be good at that one day as well. So yeah, Wicked Platinum, 8 out of 10, 22% really high. That's the old Dark Souls syndrome. It's a really difficult 8 out of 10 game, but so many people love it and get Platinum. That rarity goes up and up. It's, you know, 8% higher than Blair Witch, and I'm sure Blair Witch isn't as hard as Bloodborne. And then you've got Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That is a wicked name. No idea what it is, so I'm just going to move on. Oh, a few Borderlands. 3 Borderlands games. That looks really neat. That looks tidy. That look, PS4, all 3 of them. Borderlands 1, 2, and 3. Quite jealous of these because I've got Borderlands 1 plat on PS3, and then I've got really low percentages on Borderlands 2 for PS3 and PS4. And then there's just no Borderlands 3 on my list whatsoever. So my Borderlands like alphabetical list looks messy. I need to tidy it up a bit. But yeah, really well done on getting all the DLC on Borderlands 3 especially. That's really cool. And Borderlands 2 is a hell of a grind. So that's the longest one, isn't it? 60 hours. I know the most about Borderlands 1 because that's the one I platinumed. I like the DLC and especially like the humour in number 1 the best, and then Borderlands 2 is also great. I don't know much about 3, so perhaps let me know what that's like. You got Bug Snacks. I've talked about this game a little bit. I know of it. My friends have played it. It's got a really catchy song, and it's weird and niche, and it's on PlayStation Plus, or at least I think it was given to us on Plus. 2 out of 10 and 15 hours. It's something everyone should try, but maybe not everyone will enjoy. I think it's like a monster catching island kind of game, and you're just collecting monsters. So yeah, maybe look out for that. Bully, which is the brilliant Rockstar game, you know, the creators of well, everything that's going to change the game industry really. Red Dead 2 was a cultural event when it released. GTA 4, 5 and 6, I can remember exactly where I was every time I watched one of those trailers. I may not like the games that much, you know, personally, but I will always appreciate the impact it has on people, gamers, you know, gamers who aren't really gamers. And, you know, everyone knows Grand Theft Auto. It's just the impact on the world is crazy, and the games industry itself. You know, this game, GTA 6, is going to single-handedly raise the prices of all the games. It's going to be the justification. So games will either follow suit and the quality will be really high, or they'll try to follow suit and then they'll have to undercut the accepted price. It's going to be interesting to see. So all of that rambling from Bully, which is a, you know, a Rockstar game set in a school, and it's open world, and it's just quests and things like that. It's like a mini GTA, if you will. And then, wow, you've got 2 Burnout Paradises. These won't have any auto-pop. That is, as far as I know, 0 auto-pop from PS3 to PS4 games. That means you've quite happily gotten both Platinums separately. And look at this, 95 trophies in Burnout Paradise Remastered. And you've got them all, 100% for 4.65. Very impressive. I've played the hell out of Burnout Paradise, enough to be sick of Welcome to Paradise City. You know, that song is just done in my head. It's off the playlist forever because of this game. But I struggled with the Stadium Trophy, where I can't remember if you need to meet up with 8 players randomly in there, or if they all need to be on your friends list. But I struggled to boost that, and now it's too late. I could play Remastered, I suppose, and try again, but then, in all honesty, I'll just end up with 2 Burnout Paradises at 20% or whatever. You've got a couple Call of Duties, my 2 favourites, Modern Warfare Remastered and Modern Warfare 2. Of course, Modern Warfare 2 is only the campaign. I have the Modern Warfare Remastered Platinum, but not the sequel Remastered. I could do that. I do like that game as well, and I like the campaign. Both for reasonable rarity as well. just something I've been so out of touch with for years. I think the last Call of Duty I played would have been a little bit of Warzone. God knows what is happening with that now. I know they got Godzilla in it last year. I was excited about that, but again, I didn't fancy clearing 200 gig off my hard drive at the time for, you know, whatever you need to install for Call of Duty nowadays. It's such a juggernaut of a series, and it demands all your time, your attention, and your hard drive space. And I've got better things to play in my mind. But you know, the odd standalone Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered, happy to play. So yeah, good games, man. Very cool. An anime game, sweet. An anime sports game, Captain Tsubasa: Rise of the New Champions. This is a, I think this is a football anime, and that's about as much as I know about it. I've seen clips, you know, on Instagram or whatever. Looks cool. Probably not something I would sit down and watch with my partner, but I know these can be hype as hell, and if there was a sports kind of platinum I would go for, it would be something like this. So you'll have to let me know how it is. It's rare enough, 8.17%, so that's sweet. 1 week, 6 days, nice. Ultra rare, no, sorry, pretty much ultra rare, but in a nice shorter amount of time. Castle Crashers. I have this on PS3, I think. It's only got 13 trophies. So I think they copied the trophy list, because this would have been a re-release. 7.67% and 5 out of 10 with only 13 trophies. Yeah, it's a reasonable rarity, that's nice, and it's a good game. It's like a 2D scrolling beat 'em up. Think, you know, Streets of Rage, but really cutesy, artsy, and of a certain kind of cartoony style. Fun game, cool bosses as well. I would like to load it back up again, but I'll have to look at the trophy guide. I won't load it out without knowing, put it that way. These might be the easiest on your list other than any Telltale games. But you got Cat Quest 1 and 2 here. I've heard they're good enough games, you know, not shovelware. They've got pretty much full trophy lists. They're just definitely on the easier side, aren't they? 70% and 50%. Not much to say about them. I mean, if you enjoyed them, I'm happy for you. It's likely not something I would play unless I was really gunning for a certain milestone and I needed a couple platinums. But to be honest, I don't really want to go down that road again. I don't want to play games just for the hell of it. Not really again. I've got too many other games like that on my list. I want to play what I enjoy, and if I get the platinum for them, cool, so be it. You got Chivalry 2, something I do know a lot about. I never played Chivalry 1, but when 2 came out on PlayStation, you know, a few years ago, then I was hooked. We got it day one. We had a whole friend group playing it, maybe 5 or 6 of us, and it's medieval Battlefield. And as you know, I said earlier, I really like Battlefield, so this was really fun and brilliant platinum. Mostly you are playing maps for 25 wins on each one, which, you know, is its own challenge. You're killing enemies with bows, you're getting, I don't know, a few thousand kills with trophies. The hardest one though is killing enemies with bread. I think you need to kill, I don't know, 6 or 12 people, because it's called Baker's Dozen. Baker's Dozen. Why is that so hard to say for me? And killing people with bread is difficult. You pick it up and you throw it at them. It doesn't do much damage, you know. You probably couldn't kill someone with bread in real life, but in this game you need to get them down to low health, basically. Find the bread, throw it at them, and hope to hell it kills them. It was a very frustrating and hard trophy, and that's one of the reasons why it's 3.84% rarity. It is an ultra rare, but it's not, yeah, 5 out of 10 is fair. Maybe 6 or 7 out of 10, depending how I'm feeling on what day. But yeah, it is a good game. I enjoyed it a lot. Code Vein, which is an anime RPG. Don't know much about it other than that. I've got it on plus, 18%. It's 5 out of 10 though, so yeah. Oh, it's 75 hours. That's quite long. You must have enjoyed this. Anyone who plays a game for 75 hours has to enjoy it. It's got to be right. You've got to enjoy that. So yeah, nice one on that. Conan Exiles is next, and this is an MMO set in one of the coolest worlds in like high fantasy. You know, Conan in the 80s was unmatched. It was one of Arnie's first roles, and it's just wonderful. High fantasy, monsters, wizards, and people who look like Conan. What is not to like? 7 out of 10 though. I got this, and I can see you did as well. We both got this by cheating. I'm going to say it outright. There's no way you've done 50 hours in 1 day, 9 minutes. That's impossible. So I think you can make your own server, your own private server, without paying. You just kind of load into a private game with your own settings. And then there's either console commands that raise your level to max level, and you can spawn all kinds of things into the world. And yeah, this is how I got it as well, and I know you did too, because it's 1 day, 9 minutes. I'm not frowning upon it. I did it myself. I just wish, I kind of regret, not a big enough regret to be on, you know, a regrets video, but I regret not giving this a chance and playing it properly. This was at a time when I just wanted platinums, and this for you was 6 years ago, so maybe it was in the same boat. But the cheats and the shortcut were just there. It was just accessible. So I don't know. Don't be too harsh on me, man. I regret it. I wish maybe I should load it up and play the DLC. Maybe you played a bit more than that, and you've got some DLC for it too. But yeah, I hear it's a good game. I'd love to play an MMO that I enjoy again. Concrete Genie, not much to say about that. It's a cutesy open world spray can game. I guess the only thing I can compare it to is infamous Second Son, and maybe Spider-Man. I think in Spider-Man there's a couple of spray paint kind of mini games, so you're just going on the walls and you're like spraying stuff. I love that Infamous, man. That was really fun. Control I mentioned earlier. It's something I want to play. It's in the Alan Wake universe. It's relevant for the Alan Wake 2 DLC, but apart from that, it's just a really cool AAA third-person action game with cool gunplay and telekinesis. I mean, what more do you want? I've got it on Plus, I think, maybe on Catalog, and I'm going to play it this year, I think. 20 hours is enough for me to give it a go. Dave the Diver. Yeah, I want to play this. Godzilla's in this game, man. I mean, that's enough for me to try any game once. Other than that, maybe a bit scary for me. Underwater stuff I struggle with. Just look at any time I mention Subnautica, for example. So yeah, I look forward to giving that a go. 24%. This is on Catalog as well, so that's cool. Dead Tentacle, I've mentioned before. It's a point-and-click adventure like Broken Sword. Super easy if you're following a guide, but really fun and rewarding if you're not following a guide. So if you try this, try it without one, see how you do. Maybe have a guide open just in case. But other than that, really cool, stylish game with cool animation, and yeah, I like that one a lot. Dead Rising 2, the Capcom franchise I've never tried. The only, I say only, maybe the only Capcom franchise I've never tried, and they've re-released them enough, so I've got no excuse. I think, I kind of mentioned the PlayStation Celebration games earlier. This is like the Capcom Celebration game. You've got every franchise kind of hanging about in the Dead Rising series as either a cameo or a, you know, guest appearance or an Easter egg. That's why I want to play these games, because I love Capcom so much, and this game has all that kind of good stuff in it. Now, Dead Space 1 even is something I don't need to get into because I love it so much already. I think I have every Dead Space Platinum, and I'm currently working on Dead Space 2 German stack. I have the original Dead Space 2 stack. I'm doing live streaming every Thursday on YouTube at 7 PM. Started that last week. This video will probably be out by the third one, let's be honest. But that's what I'm playing at the moment, Dead Space 2 German stack, and I'm having such a good time. So yeah, nothing but good things to say about Dead Space. Wicked PS3 game. Maybe try the remake if you enjoyed this one, because that is a perfect game, and I'm still really salty and quite sad that we're not getting a Dead Space 2 remake. Maybe in another 10 years, right? That's seemingly what they like to do. And you got Deadpool. Don't know much about this game, obviously, other than, you know, I know Deadpool. And, I just want to say, the last 4 games, 7 years, 7 years, 6 years, and 4 years, we've got a trophy hunter here who loves to go back to complete the games a long time after they started them. And honestly, mate, this is like holding up a mirror, because I am exactly the same. That is me. I do that all the time. Get it, man. You just start the game and you're like, time to move on. And that's why we have a similar completion rate, I think, because it takes us years to go back and get these platinums. And you got Deponia, which is no, I have no idea what this is. I'm gonna move on. 2 out of 10, 4 hours, on the easier side, which are quite rare for your list from what I can see. And then we are looking at Destiny 1. I have such great memories of Destiny. Now this one we got to plat quite easily. This one took you 10 years. This is another good example of what I just talked about. And yeah, it's 7 out of 10. It's 100 hours. You need teamwork. You need a 6-man team to go in and do a raid without dying. I think that's the hardest trophy. We did that on Crota's raid, which I think is a DLC. So there's a few variables to this one that make it easier, but it is a long grind because you need to get max level with each of the classes. They're some of the rarer trophies, and it's not nearly ultra rare, 6.32%. But yeah, brilliant game. This is one in my top 3 most played games, which is another video I think I might want to do. What games have I literally played the most? And this is easily over 1,000 hours, and that wasn't to get the platinum. That was just to play the game and enjoy them, because I'm someone who, yeah, trophy hunts, not very efficiently, and then I also play games for thousands of hours because I love them. Fighting games, Monster Hunter, Destiny at the time, you know. So yeah, that's a good memory to think of. I love the PvP in Destiny 1, it was really good. Destroy All Humans, I've got this on my back catalogue. I might be, I don't know, 20% in. Just need to replay it, really. I think the PS2 open worldness got to me a little bit, and it's just something I need to return to, and that's kind of reflected in the 13% rarity. I think maybe a lot of people feel the same. It feels very PS2, that might be why it's quite rare. Diablo 3 on the PS4, Reaper of Souls, solid 6 out of 10, 60 hours. This is something I went back to 6 years ago, I think, as in I left it 6 years and got the platinum. Yeah, I got the platinum last year. It was one of my December games, one of the last games I got in the year. And I love going back to it. You have to get all the characters to max level, which takes an eon. And then 500 challenges, as well as getting a character to level 70 on hardcore mode, which is nowhere near as difficult as Diablo 2's. You know, that is 1,000 hours minimum. God knows how many playthroughs, and an insane requirement. Diablo 3 is like the bite-size version of Diablo 2's trophy list. So if you like Diablo, and you want the trophies, then I would play 3 over 2, and I have no idea what 4 was like, so maybe I'll get it one day. Donut Country. This is a cute game, I think, like maybe quite similar to Katarami, is that what it's called? When you're rolling around and kind of getting all the things. I think you're a raccoon in this, and you're trying to hoard things into a big hole in the ground, and you can move the hole around. It sounds as weird as it is. It probably is that. Easy enough game though. Look, 1 out of 10 and 80%. There's no way this is shovelware, though. It's too cute. It's too niche. It's just an easy platinum. That's all. And then closing out with D's nearly, we've got Drive Club, another unobtainable. This is a very impressive platinum. With the most confusing launch I can remember, there was a PS Plus version and a full version, and the differences between the two? No idea. I haven't got a clue. I was very confused about it. I think it was the exclusiveness that I was attracted to. I was like, cool, a PlayStation only driving game, kind of like Gran Turismo. I wanted to give this a go, but I never got round to it, to be honest. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because they ended up releasing, you know, 128 trophies for it, and you yourself are only 31% with an unobtainable platinum. So you got the platinum, that's brilliant, ultra rare, perfect. But that at 30%, I don't know if that can go any higher now, right? I guess it depends if any more of the trophies are available with it being offline now. And another unobtainable driving game, a Driver San Francisco. So this is also on the PS3, something you got in 4 years. And this has come up on another list before. I have no memory of this game. I've started to see it in CEX every now and again since I've seen it a few times on, you know, on these lists. Just no memory of trailers for this game or anything like that. But it is ultra rare and unobtainable, so that's amazing. Well done on that one. Duke Nukem, yeah, it's my cup of tea, this one. I love boomer shooters. Duke Nukem came after Doom, you know, it's like a parody of that. I think in one of the levels you can actually find Doom Guy chilling out with the strippers or something. There's a lot I don't know about Duke Nukem, but this is the one I've played the most. I haven't played the PS3 one, but what an amazing, like, development hell for 12 years by Gearbox, and then it turns out it comes out and it's just terrible, and then they follow it up with Aliens, Colonial Marines or something. You know, it's quite a funny story. Still, 40% for this PS4 version. I think I've started this on the Vita, in all honesty, so I'll have to go back and finish that. Elden Ring, and God, this is just reminding me that I've got Night Rain to get good at. So I really enjoyed Elden Ring. What a great spin on Soulsborne and Dark Souls and Bloodborne in general. It's a game that is as difficult as those. It has that difficulty, but it's just bigger, it's just grander. And if you struggle with a boss or an area in Elden Ring, you can just pick another direction and just go walk in that other direction and see what you find. You might find something that helps, you might level up, you might decide to stop going that direction and give the boss another go, which is, you know, the only option in the other games. There's so much choice in how to tackle problems in Elden Ring, and that's what I really like about it. If you get owned somewhere, just go somewhere else, and then you might find something that helps and it becomes easier. In all honesty, you'll probably find an even harder boss, but then then that knowledge is, oh, I might as well go beat that other one. So that's what I like about Elden Ring. I really appreciate it. It's a long game, it feels big, and it is 6 out of 10, so not considered. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's not considered as difficult as like Bloodborne and other games, but still wonderful. And as I said, Night Rain is fantastic, set in the same world, but with a multiplayer spin kind of experiment going on, and it's loads and loads of fun. So yeah, Elden Ring's always good to see. I want to replay it. I want to get the Platinum on the PS4 version. Without auto popping, I think you can auto pop, or at the very least maybe drop weapons and stuff like that. I might look into it, but I want to start afresh on a new playthrough and see how I do, to be honest. Erica, don't know anything about this game. I think it's an FMV game. The only FMV game I've ever played is X-Files on the PS1. This might not even be that genre, so we're just going to move on. But 17% is reasonable, 3 out of 10 difficulty. E for 1 is something that comes up a lot, but I can't even visualize a trailer, unfortunately. I'm sure it's very good. 3 out of 10, short game, 5 hours, but only 10% rarity. And then, wow, another unobtainable, Everybody's Golf on the PS4. If there was another sports game other than that football one earlier, I probably would play a golf game, to be honest. I like golf. I'm terrible at it in real life, but when it comes to like, video game golf, then we go into the realm of Mario Golf. 8 out of 10, 40 hours, 3.64% rarity, ultra rare of course, and unobtainable. That is a class platinum, sir. Very good. And it goes from that to even better. I got 10 out of 10 Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. This trophy list contains only unobtainable trophies. Look at that. So yeah, I think this is the old one where they shut it down. And this new one is a auto pop 42 seconds. I mean, why not? You've earned a 10 out of 10 platinum. Whether it's legitly or boosting, both require immense effort. So completely legit either way. 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's wonderful. And then we've got Fallout 4, a juggernaut of an RPG. Not that well received in the grand scheme of things for Fallout. I personally really like it. I like the weapons and the legendary enemies. Less so the characters, but the environments are really cool. It's just a fun game. 3 out of 10, 50 hours. I made the unfortunate mistake of loading this up on the PS5 and then letting it stay at 20%. So now I've got a nearly 100% Fallout 4 on the PS4, and I've got like a 20% PS5 version. I don't know why it's a good idea to replay these games for me sometimes. I just thought, yeah, great, new Fallout 4, let's play it. And Far Cry 4 and 5, so you've got a couple of Far Cries here, and they are, do I want to play these? I want to play Far Cry 4, I've started it, so I want to go back and finish it. You've got all the DLC here. I think I was kind of done by Far Cry 4 though, midway through as well. I love number 3, and I might want to replay that on the PS4. I've got it, but I haven't loaded it up yet. Because I'm trying to think to myself, do I want to replay games that I've really enjoyed? Do I want to spend another 30 hours on another game I've already got the platinum on? These are the kind of questions I ask myself, and yeah, I probably would enjoy it. But at the same time, the Far Cry 3 has sharks in it. You've got to collect collectibles under the ocean while sharks are getting you, and I don't know if I can do that again. I've got my sister to help me 12 years ago, maybe. She used to dive under the water and get the little shark statues for me. I miss that. Maybe I'll bring her around and she can get them for me again. But you got, yeah, Far Cry 4 and 5. I'm no interest in playing 5, but I don't know if it's good for a Far Cry game. I just feel like they're all the same now. Every Far Cry has a spin-off that uses the same map. And the only difference to the main game is, oh, it's apocalypse and everything's purple. Or, oh, now you're back in time and you're primal. It's like, when does the variation end? When does it become unique again? The answer is never. You'll always be going up those radio towers and doing whatever. I just found them quite generic by the end. But good platinums nonetheless. I'll definitely want to replay 3 and back catalogue my Far Cry 4. Oh, your only Final Fantasy in your list is 15. That's interesting. I would like to ask what made you only try 15. Have you played any other Final Fantasies? Obviously, I can't see the non-platinum stuff. But did you pour some time into 7 remake, or did you grow up on the older ones? I'm always interested in people's opinion and experience on Final Fantasy because it's something I've played a hell of a lot. I've got quite a few platinums, but I haven't got them all. I'm missing all the pixel remasters, for example, and a couple others like the remakes, the Rebirth, FF7 stuff, things like that. A couple of side ones. But generally, I love the franchise, and I could gush about it for hours. I may have reservations about the newer remake trilogy, but that's only because I love the original so much. All my criticisms come from a place of love. And 15, I genuinely love. What a brilliant game that is. The ending to that, I think, is... I don't want to say it's my favourite Final Fantasy ending, because there's so many, but it's up there. It's got to be top 3 of my favourite Final Fantasy endings. So I really like this game. A lot of problems, a lot of development hell, all sorts going on with it back in the day, but I think it ended up as a really cool game. And you got Full Throttle. I don't know this one. I think that's a picture of a motorbike, so we'll leave it at that. Easy game, 70%. Oh, it's on the Vita. Suddenly I'm very interested. Okay, maybe I'll try it out on the Vita. Game of Thrones. Why are there not more Game of Thrones games, right? I mean, it's in the bloody title. You've got this one, you've got a janky PS3 one, and then you've got like a mobile-like new release that came out this month. And yeah, this Telltale one is somehow the best of those 3, from what I understand. I feel like it's a really missed opportunity. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm looking forward to news of Ghost of Yutai. That's going to be very cool. This has come up a few times on the list. It is a premium AAA PlayStation exclusive. No one else is playing this, unless you've got a PC, and then you can play all you want. And yeah, I want to play this. My partner has this platinum. She loves it. She's always telling me that I should play this, and I know I should. It looks beautiful, and she really enjoyed it, and I take her opinion of games very highly. So yeah, I want to get this installed. I think I've got it. It's probably just on catalog. You got Goat Simulator, which is a strange game. I'm not sure why I played it at the time, but it is quite difficult. The difficult trophy in this is Flappy Goat, which is a parody of Flappy Bird, which I think is being re-released. Flappy Bird was like the fad of the time, and it's coming back. Anyway, Goat Simulator has a trophy that's just like that. Other than that, it's just a weird, silly game, and a bit of a sandbox mess around. Quite funny. Lots of ragdoll physics, which again is like a very early 2000s thing. You know, if you like ragdoll physics, that kind of came out with Half-Life, and Half-Life 2 made it popular. That's what I associate Goat Simulator with for some reason. You know, God of War 3 Remastered, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I love this game. It is wonderful. I think I struggled with it on the PS3. As I've gotten older, I've gotten better at games. I don't know how that works. It's kind of meant to go the other way. But I think it's because I'm thinking about them more. I'm thinking about the buttons I'm pressing and how I'm dodging and the combos I'm doing, and just a bit more awareness. So when I came to do Remastered, I blitzed it. And I struggled with the original game, but I love it. Some people don't really like the, you know, taking out the gods one by one kind of revenge story for a third time. But it's an epic conclusion to the original God of War trilogy, and without these games, there would be no, you know, God of Last of Us, or whatever you want to call it, which I do like. Maybe that's a bit harsh. I do like those games a lot, but I haven't finished Ragnarok. I've completed God of War, whatever year it came out on the PS4, but I haven't platinumed it, so, which is unfortunate because I have every other God of War platinum apart from the 2 newest ones. What's going on there? I have no idea. Can't explain myself. Goosebumps the game. I loved Goosebumps as a kid, but I've got no interest in playing this game anymore. I collected all the books. I loved all the covers. I'd go to Woolworths and pick up whatever new one was out. The creepy little puppet, the fairground where they turn you into stuffed animals. I feel like you could go back and look at any Goosebumps story and make something like Five Nights at Freddy's and, you know, be a millionaire for stealing their good ideas. I've no idea if this game is good. I think it's an easy platinum, 2 out of 10, 4 hours, 50%. So yeah, maybe I'll give it a go and rekindle my love for it. And you've got GTA 5, which is a hell of a long game. 150 hours, you got it in 9 years, which is, yeah, I understand completely. 2% ultra rare. I just wouldn't be able to get this now, right? You need boosting, you need all kinds of stuff going on. I would like to get 1 Grand Theft Auto Platinum before 6, and I would say I have an infinity amount of time left, but now we have a release date of next year. Time is running out, so maybe I'll focus on Vice City, maybe San Andreas. Like you've got here, you've got those 2 right there, lovely. Gravity Rush, oh cool. I've never seen these, you know, in a list together, Gravity Rush 1 and 2. I would like to give these a go. I love the main character, she's called Kat, right? They look like cool games, man, and they're quite rare as well, 14%. So yeah, I think I'll write these down to try, hopefully sometime this year. Grim Fandango, brilliant, funny, hilarious game about a Grim Reaper in a world where you die, and then when you wake up, it's just like it's all about being monetized again. You're taking out after-death care packages, and it's hilarious. So relatable as well, like the humor is really down to earth, even though it's set between, you know, a realm of death and the real world with like fantastical characters. But just like Day of the Tentacle, worth playing without a guide, seeing how you do. If you're struggling on anything, use a guide by all means, but yeah, the charm really comes through playing this without a guide and going in blind, I think. Wrist, I've seen this lady more times than I count when I go. It's either in my library, and that's why I see it all the time, or it's in a sale every single week and I see it that way. No idea what it is, so that's all I've got to say about it. 50%, 2 out of 10, 5 hours. An easier game, but I think it looks quite artistic and cool from what I remember about a trailer maybe. Guns, Gore and Cannoli 2. No idea what this is. 50%, 5 hours. Another easier platinum. Not 1 out of 10, but easy enough. Haven. Again, alright, this is like a triple whammy of games I'm unfamiliar with. I've never heard of Haven. I've seen Guns, Gore and Cannoli 2, but I don't know much about it. And Haven is the same. I've seen it around 20%, so it's a lot rarer than those other 2. Hellblade's the newest sacrifice. Something I know and appreciate, but have actively decided I don't want to play. I think it's awesome that awareness is being raised by games like this for psychosis and other like mental health kind of attributes and stuff. But I would struggle with the really good audio. I don't know why. And I've seen mostly a playthrough of this, and that's about as much as I want to do with the game. Maybe I'll give it a go one day. 41%, 2 out of 10, and it's only 8 hours. I wonder if we get the sequel. I think we are getting the sequel on PlayStation one day, right? I mean, it's probably on the cards of how things are going for Xbox at the moment. Very interesting. Hitman Go. I regret playing this game, man, and maybe I'll see Lara Croft Go later. But Hitman Go, I got it in my quick mad rush to 100 platinums. It's probably like, I don't know, platinum 90 for me or something. I completely used a guide and I was bored out my mind. I think it's better than what I gave it credit for. Because I was using a guide, it was just brain dead. I was just copying what I saw on the screen. Alright, move one. Okay, move another. I just wasn't engaged at all. Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS4, not the remaster, or the remaster of the remaster, or whatever else they're doing. 27% open world. Again, I struggle with these games. This is on my back catalogue. But Aloy is iconic, and I really want to play Horizon Lego. It bombed, but I want to play it still. Hot Wheels Unleashed. I don't think I think I'm mixing this up with a Micro Machines game, but man, this is hella rare. 6.9% for a Hot Wheels game. Do you think there's any children with this ultra rare platinum, like literal children who play Hot Wheels, and they don't know the power of their rarity that they've owned? That's funny. 5 out of 10, 30 hours. I don't know much about the platinum itself on that one, so I'd like to find out a bit more. Infamous First Light and Infamous Second Son. So you got some PS4 ones. It surprises me with how many PS3 games you've got. You know, you go back and play a lot of PS3 games, which I love, by the way. This is a wicked list, because part of my love for it is you've got so many PS3 games. But why do you have First Light and Second Son, but no Infamous 1 or 2? I love Infamous 1 and 2. They're brilliant. They're a bit janky now. Like, it's hard to play an open world game on the PS3. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's a tolerance thing. I would really like a new game in the Infamous series, but who does them? Sucker Punch, and they're doing Ghost of Tsushima and Yutai, aren't they? So yeah, I would like them to do a new game after that, perhaps. I think I got that right. Let me know if I'm wrong. You got It Takes Two. Oh no, sorry. We'll talk about It Takes Two and we'll go back to Injustice. So It Takes Two is another co-op game, just like Split Fiction and A Way Out. It's their other game that, God, I can't even visualize. In fact, I'm so distracted by Injustice 2. So we'll just move on to that. Oh yeah, It Takes Two is the marriage council simulator, right? You're a couple, you get turned into toys, and then you've got to split screen your way to getting back to your kids who probably shouldn't be left on their own too long. Yeah, I know this game. Again, it's something I'd like to play with my partner. So at this rate, I'll probably end up buying It Takes Two, Split Fiction, and A Way Out, and playing all three of them with her. Wonder if she'd like that. So yeah, Injustice 2. I didn't realise this was only 4 out of 10. What? I thought this was much harder. 4 out of 10, 40 hours, 1.8%. I think the literal difficulty of Injustice 2 is a loot box, right? Because there's so much customization in these games by NRS. They also do Mortal Kombat. There's so much customization in these games that they have loot boxes for special moves as well as clothing items and weapons and all sorts, I'm sure. So you've got to get a certain move for, God, I think it might be Catwoman. It might not be Catwoman. And if you equip this move and use it, then you get the trophy or finish a round with it. But to get the move, you've got to like spend time getting these loot boxes, or of course you could pay money for them, probably. I wouldn't be that surprised. But yeah, it's a strange platinum in that regard, that it's like RNG related. I think that's literally the reason why it's 1.8%. But other than that, I didn't play Injustice 2 till many years later. I'm like, I don't know, 50% myself. Something on the back catalogue. I've got every Mortal Kombat platinum apart from 9, and loads of other fighting game platinums. It's nice to see a fighting game on here, put it that way. Ooh, wicked, you got loads of jacks. You know, they're classic PlayStation icons and all that. And you've actually spent a lot of time on these. 6 years, 6 months, 2 weeks, 3 years, 6 years. So you kind of blitzed through that last precursor legacy, but the other lot took you a while. Yeah, 6 years in between there. You got I like that you go back to get these games. That's a good trait of a trophy hunter, is the time in between getting the platinum and starting it. And I'm glad PSN profile shows that stat. They're all good platinums. I appreciate all of them. They're not necessarily the rarest, all between 18% and 40, but yeah, good plats nonetheless. Jumping Flash, no idea what this is. 34%, 5 days. Maybe a quick in-between kind of arcade game. I doubt it's shovelware. I don't think you've got any shovelware on your list, to be honest, until we get to I Am Mayo, which is a complete guess. I'm not judging you. I don't know if you've got it. So LA Noire, I don't know anything about this game. Isn't it like Rockstar endorsed, or is it actually by Rockstar? Can't remember. But yeah, the facial capture technology, which this came out on PS3, and it was just mind-blowing. You know, these look like photorealistic games, and this was like an indicator to me 10 years ago how quickly, how far games are coming along. And I watched an Unreal Tech demo for The Witcher 4 yesterday, and my mind was blown what they can do and how it looks. It just looks fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, this game was like a super tech demo to me. Like, it looked really cool. So maybe not something I want to try myself, but I love the, you know, how it looks and how it plays from the looks of it. Last Stop. I think I got this game wrong before. I think I might have said it's about a bus driver, but actually I believe it's about several people's story from different perspectives. So maybe a visual novel or a little story game. But again, it's on the quick and easy side of things, so I appreciate that. Lego Harry Potter. I hate Harry Potter. I hated Harry Potter even before all the controversy, so I don't feel bad about disliking Harry Potter because I never liked it in the first place. I mean, how hard is it to overtake a bloody school when you're like the Dark Lord or whatever? So yeah, maybe some harsh feelings on Harry Potter, but I never liked it, to be fair. And Lego games, I didn't even mention their Lego games. So yeah, maybe the Lego game aspect would make me enjoy them more. I'll have to think about that. Now, Life is Strange is wicked. I love that game. This is a very easy 1 out of 10, 10 hours and 30%. But it's beloved. It's absolutely beloved for a reason. The characters in it, the super cringy kind of out of touch teenage phrases they use all the time. Honestly, it has to be seen to be believed. But I really like it, don't get me wrong. And I don't even have the platinum. I've watched my partner play this game and I've seen playthroughs on it. It's kind of a comfort watch for me. I like to watch this game. I really should play it. But to me, it'd be like rewatching a TV series I've already seen. So I need to leave it for a little bit. And then we've got Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. There's too many Yakuza games for me to get into now. I've never played a Yakuza game. This one seems easy though, 50%. Maybe I should start with this one. But yeah, that's my stance on Yakuza. I've not played any, so I have no feelings, good or bad. I would like the main character to appear in Tekken. I think that would be more suited than Clive Rosefield from Final Fantasy, who is not a Tekken character, not in my world. So yeah, the Yakuza guy would have been welcome, more welcome than Clive, put it that way. Little Nightmares 2, I didn't know. No, it's the first one that doesn't have a platinum, and I forget about that all the time. So yeah, that's cool that this has a plat. Something I've not played, and I've seen trailers on, a couple of playthroughs on, you know, for streamers and stuff. It looks cool. I would like to play this one day. Mad Max, which is unobtainable. You got loads of cool unobtainable games. That's nice. And this is nearly ultra rare. I might load this up, earn 1 trophy, just so your percentage goes down for you. I think this game was underappreciated at the time, but people actually really enjoy it now. But unfortunately, unobtainable, you're not going to get many people loading it up to try. Then Mafia, which is kind of on your flip side of I like open world Grand Theft Auto games. You've got a lot of open world games, which is cool to see. You've got Guardians of the Galaxy, which in my last review I said seems a bit off about, you know, the actors, but people tell me it's really good and I should play it. I think it might have won Game of the Year, or maybe it was nominated for Game of the Year once. But yeah, it's on catalogue. I'll get round to it one day. Just like one day I'll play a Spider-Man game. I don't think I've played... Oh, I play Spider-Man quite a lot in like Marvel vs. Capcom or I don't know, old SNES games on emulators. But I've not played a recent Spider-Man game for whatever reason. Open world, PlayStation exclusive. Maybe I secretly don't like PlayStation, I don't know. There's so many exclusive games I haven't played from PlayStation. It is a bit of a struggle. And I'm an undercover Xbox agent. I love Mass Effect. I got an Xbox for Mass Effect when it came out. And it was the best console switch of all time. You know, goodbye old PS3. I'm playing Mass Effect on the Xbox. Of course, I only had an Xbox for maybe 6 months before I decided to go back to PlayStation. I think I missed the trophies, in all honesty. I did take a break. I'll talk about that when I do my Xbox video. But yeah, I love Mass Effect. Brilliant game. And I will really impressed that you've got these PS3 Platinums. It's almost a shame you don't have Mass Effect 3 on the PS3. That would be a really neat and tidy trilogy of Platinums there. You know, Metal Hellsinger. Now, obviously, this is my kind of game. Other than, right? I love the vibe, I love the music, I love the metal, I love the Doom-like gameplay, but I'm so bad at rhythm, anything rhythm, Guitar Hero, Metal Hellsinger. I'm sure, you know, I'd get the hang of it, but I can't hold a rhythm to save my life. Crypt of the Necrodancer, for that being a 10 out of 10 already, for me, that's like 1,000 out of 10. I'll never be able to get anything like that. So I'd like to try it one day. Maybe I'd like to try this on PC or something first, and then once I get the hang of it, I'll be confident enough to go for the platinum, put it that way. Next up is a Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. No idea what this is, so honestly, just going to move on. I'm going to move on when I don't know what they are. And then you've got the mighty, wonderful Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm a massive Monster Hunter fan. This is one of the newer games on your list. It only released a couple months ago. And you got it quite recently, I think. Yeah, 3rd of May 2025. Good job on that. It's a pretty difficult platinum, to be fair, at face value. You know, you've got to get all the crowns still. It's just under that hood is the easiest Monster Hunter platinum you can earn. All the others require insane RNG, and this one does require some, don't get me wrong. There's some rare spawns you've got to get in this at different times of day, under different weathers and different conditions. The monster crowns that you must look for with, you know, your very easy and accessible binoculars is still quite difficult, but there is a cool kind of community sharing aspect to it. If your friend has a crown and you can save the investigation, then your friend can load up that investigation and you both get the crown when you hunt the monster. So there's things like that which are cool. I've helped a couple of people out with crowns myself, so I wonder what your crown hunting experience was and whether you'd go back and play any other Monster Hunter game. I mean, I've got Rise, Platinum, World, Iceborne. The only ones I haven't played are the stories, which I think I played most of that on a tablet. They are on PlayStation now, and they're more like RPGs, turn-based RPGs. So yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, very special to me. And of course it was my 250th Platinum, which I'm not going to forget anytime soon. Wonderful game. Got Murdered Soul Suspect. Now this is a game, I don't know, I think I started or my partner started it. This game goes like 99% off. Honestly, you can get this for like £1 most days on the PlayStation Store. It looks alright. You can turn it into a cat. It's more like it reminds me of the Sherlock Holmes games. You've got to like investigate, but a more supernatural aspect to it. You are literally dead. You are murdered, and you are suspecting the souls. So you've got to go around and work out why you're dead and investigate what you can with unlockable powers and stuff. And yeah, it seems like a good game, so maybe I'd like to play this one day. And then we're seeing wonderful My Name is Mayo, My Name is Mayo 2. I've really relaxed on my Name is Mayo stance recently. I'm even toying with the idea of making My Name is Mayo a milestone. My 500th Platinum or something, can you imagine? It'd be so funny. Maybe if I get big enough and popular enough by then I'll do it for a laugh. But yeah, you know, it's... What can you say about My Name is Mayo? I'm more interested in hearing the stories as to why people played this game. So, when did you play this game? Why did you play it? It was 5 years ago. Oh my god, you got one a few days ago as well. Wow, okay, you're holding to your guns here. 28th December 2020, you play My Name is Mayo. 5 years later, and only this time last month, you play My Name is Mayo 2. Very interesting, that interests me a lot. Okay, so you got Need for Speed Heat. No idea about Need for Speed. I probably played 1 or 2 on the PS2. I think they were around then. But yeah, no idea on that. But 10%, reasonable enough. Nier Automata, and I've not played these. Now, if there was a series where I should play it, this is up there, right? I should play Nier because it is wonderful. And I have played Drakengard, which is kind of a Nier game, right? It's like a Dynasty Warriors. I'm going to say rip-off because I don't remember Drakengard coming out first or anything, but you do get to ride a big dragon, and it does have some mental endings where you get teleported to like modern day. It's very confusing, but anyway, I should play this, so quite jealous of this Platinum. No idea what these next two are, unfortunately. Old Man's Journey, 80%, 2 hours, just an easy game. On Rush, unobtainable, no idea what this is. Multiplayer game maybe, 6.4 for 7. So I have no idea what this is, but very impressive nonetheless. You know, you can see the stats right in front of you there. Unobtainable, 6 out of 10, and 6.47%. So that's cool. Well, another classic franchise here, Parappa the Rapper. Why are there no new Parappa the Rapper games? Who was even the developer of it? I mean, it's so iconic, you'd think they'd want to do more sequels and re-releases and stuff. But yeah, again, it's like a rhythm game, and I'm terrible at them. I enjoy, you know, like everyone who grew up in the UK in the 90s, you probably loved Parappa the Rapper, or at least played the demo around a friend's house. You know, it was like a party game, wasn't it? It's like, hey, let's play. But I was so bad at it. So bad. So yeah, that's a cool platinum. Phoenix Wright, another Capcom franchise I just don't play. It is Capcom, isn't it? Yeah. Whenever this comes on, I'm like, oh god, get on to Monster Hunter, or show me Street Fighter, or Devil May Cry. I just don't get along with it. I don't know. It's like a visual novel, I guess, isn't it? Visual novel, adventure, courtroom game. It's very unique, very niche. Just not really for me. But I would like to give it a go one day. But there's so many now. Yeah, look, this is a trilogy. Where to start? Where to start, indeed. Plants vs. Zombies. Battle for Neighborville. I have no idea if I have this. Oh no, I've got Garden Warfare. I've got the one with the cooler name. But this is a long game, 130 hours, and it's ultra rare. I really like these games, they were fun. I don't know what the player base is like now, so it would likely be a difficult task to get the platinum, so I probably won't load this up. But I enjoyed, yeah, this one, Garden Warfare. This is what I like. Oh my god, there's Garden Warfare 2? Are these all three the same game? And why is the original obtainable but the second one isn't? I have so many questions. This is like your Battlefield. You're a Plants vs. Zombies fanatic. This is wonderful. You got these pretty close together as well in 19 and 2020. That's cool. I appreciate that. Focusing on a franchise to like, because you're good at the genre and you're just like, right, I'm going to get this platinum. Yeah, that Battle for Neighborville is definitely the hardest one. 130 hours. That's interesting. I found this quite hard. You got the double kills with like the rocket launchers and the different classes. They're pretty difficult games, and they're completely multiplayer. All three of these. So that's impressive. And look, this is impressive too. A football game. I don't think I'll ever have a football game on my platinum list. Just, you know, I just don't get along with the sport, but I appreciate seeing them. You know, you just don't really see them. Anyone who's got a FIFA platinum has put a lot of work into it. But this is 2 out of 10, 25 hours, and obtainable. Are you saying I could go up to eBay or CEX and get Pro Evo Soccer 2014? I remember my brother playing this. God, I would have been God knows how old. It was a while ago, right? 11 years ago. So yeah, that's interesting. It's kind of a easy platinum, 25 hours, and ultra rare. Very interesting. Cool. Right, then you got quite a few Ratchet and Clanks. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, what is the date spread like? 2016, 22, 16, 16, 24, and 16. Wow, you had a really good time for a few weeks, and you're a big Ratchet and Clank fan. I appreciate that. That's cool. That is certainly a lot of platinums, and I've said this before. I want to play Rift Apart. Obviously, it's the newest one. Or is it? I don't know. This could be... No, that's this PS3. Don't worry about me. Yeah, I want to play this one, the PS5 one. I think... And I love janky old PS3 games, so I could go back and appreciate them. But I want to start with, you know, the silky smooth experience, the almost tech demo Rift Apart. I think I'm going to play this soon, maybe this month. I'll go for that one first. And then that will make me decide whether I'm a fan of the franchise. I want to go back and play the others. Let me know what the best one is other than this one. This might be the worst one, but I'm going to play this one. And then let me know what you think the best one is, or what one you think I would enjoy the most. I would like to play them all. Damn, Rayman Legends. That's a tough platinum as well. 3.87%. Isn't there another Rayman Legends on the PS3 that's like 8 out of 10? I wonder if that's got a different list. Still, that's a long platinum, if anything. 3.87 is very ultra rare. So yeah, that's cool. Wow. Okay, we've got 3 strange cherry-picked Resident Evils. So we've got Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is, you know, 10 out of 10 brilliant game. It's 5 out of 10 difficulty. It's a hard platinum. A lot of playthroughs needed with a lot of different runs. And it's kind of scary. So yeah, I think it's quite difficult. Resi 5 is a different kind of game. It's mostly a co-op game. And... it's not as good as the remake, but it's very cool. But yeah, really different platinum, to be fair. There's not like a knife-only run or anything. You've got to upgrade all your weapons and play on the hardest difficulty, and quite a few collectible trophies compared to Resi 2. And then you got Resistance, which is completely different to all of those games. One of the hardest platinums in the whole franchise. And it's something I don't have, and I've got like 15 Resident Evil Platinums or something. I played this and just kind of bounced off it. I think I will need to boost it. It looks like it's still active. I would like to focus on that, to be honest, because I like the idea of having as many Resident Evil Platinums as I can. I'm definitely a big fan of the franchise, and yeah, I really like it. And Resistance is a good game. It's just one of these asymmetrical horror games that's like 6 versus 1, and there's a trophy for, you know, each mastermind, loads of different situations, RNG. It's the kind of thing where boosting is kind of, you know, necessary, I would say. But yeah, 8 out of 10 and ultra rare. That's really impressive. You got Return to Monkey Island, which is a wonderful point and click game. I never played this. It's quite new though. It came out last year, I think, and yeah, I can't remember playing the first one. I remember some scenes, and it's, you know, the writing is really funny. Definitely in the same vein as Grim Fandango and Day of the Tentacle. So I appreciate that you like these older style point and click adventures. So that's cool. And you got Riders Republic. Obviously a racing game, but I have no idea what this is. And it's an ultra rare. I've never seen this. PS5 game as well. No idea what it is. But yeah, ultra rare is cool. Another one under your belt. Then you got Rhyme, which I've seen a lot. I don't know much about either. 2 out of 10 though, 8 hours. Definitely on the easier side. I'm not very interested in going for these easier games myself. It's got to be like an established franchise. I'm not really, and it's a weakness in my part. It's a bit of a failing. It kind of takes a lot for me to try a new IP, if that makes sense. And then you got Rocket League, which is probably the only sports game I have, I guess. It's the only like driving platinum I have, and it's football as well in a way. So yeah, that counts. I have Rocket League. There you go. 2 out of 10 and 50 hours. Yeah, it's a long platinum, and what's impressive about this, don't skip, is you got all the DLC, 1.4%. So that's really cool. Saints Row, and you've got 3 Saints Row games. Again, this kind of falls into the category that you like these open world Grand Theft Auto likes. I'm starting to see a trend with your open world games. Makes me think, yeah, you should enjoy Infamous on the PS3 and a few other ones that I've played that you haven't. But yeah, Saints Row is cool, a parody of Grand Theft Auto, but hard for me to get into when I don't really get along with Grand Theft Auto in the first place. I don't know, is Saints Row worth trying if you don't really get along with Grand Theft Auto or open world? Do they hold their own well enough? Or do you need to know those games to understand the parodies? That's kind of where I'm at with Saints Row. I might even I think I own Agents of Mayhem, which is a spin-off of Saints Row. I'm not even sure. But yeah, quite kind of interesting. But good platinums nonetheless. I mean, some of them are pretty rare there. You've got, all of them are below 12% really, so that's cool. And then you've got Sea of Solitude, 44%, and came out a few years ago. Fair enough, alright, I don't know that one, we'll move on. Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I have this game, it's just something I haven't played. It took me like 5 years to buy it from the sale for some reason. I go and buy it and then I've never played it. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I've played all the games in the collection. I grew up in these games. You got Golden Axe, you got Sonic, you got the gem one that's like Tetris but not. And yeah, this is meant to be a pretty difficult collection, to be fair. 40 hours, 6 out of 10, and 7.19%. This is something I should have, and I own, I just haven't played it. So yeah, maybe that will go on my back catalogue to start soon. And then Shadow of the Colossus, I'm jealous of, PS4 version. I've played both the PS3, I've played the PS2 version, the PS3 and the PS4. And I don't have the platinum for, well, any of those versions. It's not that the PS2 came with one, but I complete it, and when it comes around to completing again with the speed run and the getting all the lizards and seeing all the animals, I kind of stopped, and I've done that with both versions. You just focus on one and then come back to the other one years later. So yeah, that's a good platinum. 7.19% is a very good rarity as well. And then we're seeing Shadows of the Damned. Not a clue what that is in all honesty. 16% and a PS3 game. Maybe I know what this is. I'll have to look up a really old trailer and be prepared for low quality image or video here. But yeah, that's cool. Another PS3 game under your belt. And then we're seeing Shenmue, the classic Sega game. I played this on Dreamcast when it came out. It was amazing. Like, my friends had this and they couldn't believe that, you know, the everyday going into NPCs' houses and talking to them and all the mini games. I mean, this game paved the way for so much. And yeah, it's a bit strange to me why I don't like Yakuza if I love Shenmue. I've not played the PS4 version, and I've never played Shenmue 2. Actually, there's a lot to get back into in these games, isn't there, to be fair? So 1 and 2 were the originals, and Shenmue 3 was the newer one, but it didn't do so well. Is that my understanding? Probably is. So yeah, really good platinums, and they're quite easy as well. I think I should go back and play these. So yeah, thank you for the inspiration. You got another sports platinum, unobtainable, 100% skate free. Now that's impressive. 5 out of 10, 25 hours, 1.51% and 0.72% rarity on the 100%, including the DLC. Fantastic. Fantastic. Applaud this man. Skate free, unobtainable, and look, everyone is trying to get the platinum. Wait, what's going on here? You got game sessions, but you got unobtainable. Was it recently shut down? Is that what's going on, or is this just an old kind of tag that isn't active anymore? Very interesting, but still really impressive, man. 1.51, that's one of your rarest I can see. Then you've got some very cool Sly Cooper platinums. I don't have one. I think I played one on the Vita, one on the PS3. Another classic PlayStation icon that I need to go back and play and get the platinum for. Both PS3 games, much appreciated. Do love some PS3 love. And these ones are at 50%. I think I struggle with the collectathon aspect of these games. I'm not very good at getting big shiny gold coins hidden in, you know, multiple levels. I do struggle with that. And then you've got South Park, Fractured Butthole, which is the greatest play on words I've ever seen. I love South Park, but I don't think I'd consider playing a game of it. I don't really play games to laugh. I appreciate when games make me laugh. I like good writing, but I haven't really gone on my way to play a comedy game other than maybe Borderlands, the Telltale series game, but I kind of just played that for the platinum anyway, so yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. You got Spirit of the North, which I see this fox all the time. I think this is the one where the mother dies and, you know, it's obvious what happens, but yeah, 46%, easier game. That's all that is. And you got Mr. SpongeBob, seen this a few times. This is the remake of an old PS2 game, I think. Looks cool, 23%, and I like SpongeBob, so maybe if we get it on Plus one day. Probably is on Plus already, and I just haven't played it. And then you got the whole Spyro trilogy. Oh, it makes me so angry that it doesn't show Spyro 1, 2, 3. It goes 2, 3, 1. My list, it looks even worse because I have Spyro 1 and 2 only. I got to 3 and I was like, time to stop playing Spyro. So I need to go back and do that. And yeah, you were smart. You got these all at the same time. March, April 2019. So you had more resilience to the classic Spyro games than I did. And then we're seeing 2 Star Wars games, both, one of them is ultra rare, one of them is Jedi Fallen Order. Battlefront 2 is amazing, and after watching Andor, I wanted to play Battlefront 2, and I had it installed for some footage from the other day, and what a brilliant game. It's so good. Obviously it started out rough, but it's such a cool Star Wars game with so much content, and the music, the models, the sounds, it's authentic, it's just brilliant. And an ultra rare to boot, so Star Wars lovers and trophy hunters can appreciate it. So yeah, hopefully they do a Star Wars Battlefront 3. Still gutted about the collection, which the other developers messed up. Jedi Order is something I bounced off, in all honesty. I found the navigating a bit difficult, and I didn't enjoy like the shortcut unlocking. I think I only like Dark Souls when they do that. I need to go back and play it, and now we've got this sequel on... We've got it on Plus or Catalogue, and you know, that's a big premium game. That was 70 quid not long ago, like last year or whatever. So I want to play them both to get the platinum, and I love Star Wars. I need as many Star Wars platinums as I can get, put it that way. You got Mr. Kitty Cat, you got Stray, and I'm so happy not to see Subnautica here. Whenever Stray pops up in a list, it's always, cat, and then it's underwater pain and stress. So thank you for not having played Subnautica. Stray is cool. big cat game. I think it was on catalog and I missed out on it. I never loaded it up. My partner played it and she loved it until she realised the cat can get hurt, and he makes little sad cat getting hurt noises. And I'm inclined to agree with her. I don't want to see cats get hurt, but I know it's a good game, and the motion capture is so cute. It's so cute. So yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, I've got this Tabletop Racing World Tour. Very nice. I didn't realise this was 7%. What's hard about this game? I'm sure it was easy. I have this, I'm positive I do. I have to look into that. But yeah, nice one. Little Micro Machines game. Maybe I'm quite good at Micro Machines like games, I guess. I'm quite cool at, you know, ghost races and other stuff like that. So yeah, 7 years on that one. That's quite a long one. I think that was a plus game. Then we've got Tales from the Borderlands. Yeah, I mentioned this already. One of my favourite Telltale games. Worth playing even without trophies in mind. Fantastic. Really funny. Loads of good scenes in that one. And Handsome Jack in this is even better in this than he is in Borderlands 2. So I can tell you're a big Borderlands fan, because this is your 4th platinum in the series, which is very nice. No idea how to pronounce that. Chia, I'm going to say Chia. 18%, 1 week, 2 out of 10, 20 hours. Looks quite easy, but quite a low rarity for that difficulty. And then you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection. I have this, and I love these old games. I grew up on a lot of these games, and a lot of these in the arcade I used to play. And I was most excited for the fighting game in this series, which you never see in videos or anywhere. And it's Tournament Fighters, which I have such vivid memories of playing when I was younger. Playing this tournament fighting Turtles game with the shark guy and, you know, all the main characters. It's really good, and I kind of played that through properly without there's save states and all sorts in this. And then I stopped playing it. I need to go back and play the other ones. There's some really good games in this collection. So it's something I've got installed at the moment. Ooh, and then we've got some wonderful Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 games. Super easy platinums. Both of them are very, very simple, very easy. And yeah, look, 7 and 10 hours. Now, just for perspective, I have, I don't know, 500 hours in Tekken 7, maybe nearly 1,000. Between 500 and 1,000, I can't remember. And Tekken 8, I've easily got 400 now. I play it very, very often, and I love learning new characters. I love going for rank. I just got Bushin in Tekken 8 Season 2. Season 1, I was Tekken King, which is, I think that's a worthy rank. Love Tekken. I don't need to explain why I love Tekken. It's just part of my DNA to grow up on that series. It's part of my family. I play my brother and my friends all the time, and met one of my best friends through Tekken. Tekken is just part of me, is part of my genetic makeup, and I'll always get along with it, even with the trouble Tekken 8 has had recently, which, you know, does not affect the platinum. You don't need to worry about it. If you're going to be a Tekken tourist, that's fine. You can play for 10 hours, get the platinum, and then move on. So maybe wait for it to go on sale. But my hope is you start to love Tekken because you played it. And there's other Tekken plats to get. There's easier ones. Actually, no, there's harder ones on the PS3, but they're all available still, as far as I know. And you got Terminator Resistance, an actual good Terminator game. I thought this was Terminator Salvation, which is, you know, the first game I played literally for a platinum. But no, this is Resistance, which is meant to be good. I hear the PS4 version is a bit more janky than the PS5. I've recently bought the PS5 version for like, I don't know, tenner. I mean, it was on offer and I got some birthday money. So I've got that to my list to play. 60% rarity. I wonder if the PS5 has exactly the same list, because I know it's not an auto pop. It's like an enhanced version. So I look forward to playing that. And I love Terminator. As long as I see an endoskeleton with that Terminator theme playing, with some lasers and some humans getting, you know, shot in the back, I'm here for a good time. We're back. Completely different day. There's been a bit of a longer list, a longer recording process. So I had to take a break in between. And this is another evening just after work. So carrying on right from where we were, we're on to The Artful Escape. Have never played this one. Don't know what it is. 2 out of 10, 70%. It's pretty quick, so we'll move on as well. Pretty sharpish. Now, the Callisto Protocol I do know. It comes up a lot when I'm live streaming. Dead Space, and obviously the comparisons to Dead Space are its its most recurring feature, I think. But underneath it all, underneath those comparisons, I think it's a good game. It's not quite as good as Dead Space. It doesn't have the stopping power of the characters or the story. In fact, it ends rather abruptly and disappointing. Yeah, the ending is disappointing to say the least. So it's a bit of a diamond in the rough to me. I actually enjoy the battle system. It's very 1v1 melee focused. It's almost like a fighting game. You're encouraged to engage in 1v1 only, and you've got to deal with everyone else as quickly as you can by, telekinesing them into the environment or whatever gets them out of the way. Guns as well are just an afterthought, but that's on purpose. It actually wants you to use guns as like a combo ender. Your most damaging attack in this, other than environmentals, is actually, 3 melee strikes followed by a gunshot to the face. That's just how this is, whereas Dead Space is pretty much all gunplay and mad melee swinging as a last resort. So I appreciate that it tried something different. It's a good platinum as well, although I think by the second, or maybe even, I think I did 2 playthroughs. By the second playthrough, it was starting to drag on me. So yeah, it only recommends 1 on the guide. I think that's about right. But still, a lot of DLC as well, which I want to go back to, so I will one day. The Crew, which is a driving game, and that's 8 out of 10 and 140 hours. Wow, and unobtainable at 0.93%. That's crazy, dude. You really like your racing games that are, from early on in the PS4 and the PS3 era, and then you've just gone and got this super ultra rare platinum. That's very impressive. I don't know much about the game itself or how hard the platinum is, but 8 out of 10 is respectable. 140 hours is a long time. So yeah, that's a really cool one. Then you've got Anthology, Man of Medan. I like this one. I've watched my partner play, maybe all 3 or 4, however many there are, and this often comes up as their favourite. And I agree. I like the setting. I like the characters in this one. It's just like Life is Strange and like these other kind of walk around and choice-based games in a way. I like to watch them. I rarely play them myself to get the platinum, and I could very easily, of course. These are very easy games with a few playthroughs, but I just enjoy to sit down and watch someone else play these ones. But this is 5.99% rarity. That's really rare for this type of game, so I didn't know that. Pretty cool. Darkness 2, 3 out of 10. Something I'm familiar with but haven't played myself. But yeah, I didn't know it was 15 hours and 3 playthroughs. So that's good to know. And a 17% trophy rarity. That's nice. Evil Within I love. I played the first one a lot, a hell of a lot. I even went for the the harder playthrough trophies, but it's just a little bit too tough for me. I think the first one is a solid 9 out of 10 difficulty, and that's the same as Dead Space 2, but I find Dead Space 2 a bit more manageable. There's just something about Evil Within that makes it really difficult. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'd like to go back to it and give it a go, but because I haven't got the platinum in Evil Within 1, I have refused to play the Evil Within 2. I don't know why. I should play the sequel, and I'm sure I would enjoy it just as much. So, and I know it's free on Plus. I've always wanted to play it. That's definitely on my list to go for. And then you've got Last of Us Part 2, a single Last of Us. Very jealous of anyone with a Last of Us Platinum. I have 0 Last of Us Platinums. I haven't played Last of Us Part 2. I've played Part 1 on PS3 and PS4, but there's so many versions of it now, I wouldn't know where to restart with the series. And I think the original Last of Us on PS3 is unobtainable now, and I didn't get all the multiplayer trophies, so I'm stuck with that certain percentage, which is always unfortunate. And then we're seeing The Messenger. I love The Messenger. I've got this installed as a PS5 version. I'm not sure if it's got auto pop. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't have auto pop. I want to play this through again. It's quite tough. Yeah, 4 out of 10 is a reasonable rating, I would say. I might even whack that up to 5 out of 10. There's some platforming segments and later levels that are extremely difficult. But apart from that, it's a 2D side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden kind of Metroidvania game. Very enjoyable, really funny writing, and gorgeous music and pixel art. It really is a game made for me. I love this game. And I love the next one as well, Order 1886. I would have felt differently had I bought it at full price at release, but I managed to get a steelbook for like £10 or something, you know, a limited edition. So I was really happy with that. And when I did get round to playing it, I really enjoyed what I found. It's like it's just a tech demo showcase for these graphics, and the graphics still look amazing today. I often say this, but I loaded it up for a Halloween video one year, and I ended up playing the whole game through, all 5 hours 45 minutes of it. It's not a long game at all, so I can see where the reviews would always bring up the length. But if, you know, years later, May 2025, this is your newest, this is actually your newest platinum. You must have sneaked this in right at the end, a nice 5-hour platinum. I'll be very curious, with it fresh in your mind, Skip, what you thought of this game, because I really liked it. I thought it was cool. Outer Worlds, which is it's by Obsidian, isn't it? The guys who did New Vegas. This is like their answer to jumping into the Fallout world again, and I need to play it. I think it's on Plus. There's a sequel out now. There's DLC for the sequel, if I'm right, or maybe I'm wrong. But it looks interesting. This feels like a shorter game compared to Fallout, but still something I would like to play. And then you've got the Pathless. Don't know what that is. 2 out of 10, 37%. Bit of an easier one, but that's fine. Plucky Squire, kind of in the same boat. 3 out of 10, 9 hours, 30%. Although I have heard of this game, but don't know anything about it. Sexy Brutale, I know of the game again. These are all games. These last 3 are ones that I see in sales often. They're ones I just go past and don't look into. They don't have a, you know, an icon that draws me in. I've bought so many games, just random ones from the store, where I click on it, I look at the icon, I'm like, yeah, that looks good, and then watch the trailer, obviously, and then I look up the trophies, and those 3 things together make me decide whether to buy a random game or not. And then obviously I know The Sims 4. Now this is 30 hours. I'm sure I took like 100 hours to platinum this, and not like normal, as in I like to play a game through and don't worry about the platinum, and I get it in my own time. If that takes 400 hours on a 50-hour game, whatever, at least I've kind of done it at my own pace. With The Sims 4, I actively tried to get the platinum as quick as possible, and I just couldn't. I don't know if my Sims were stubborn, if I was controlling them wrong, or doing things very inefficiently, but it was a tough platinum. It was hard for me. I played it for too long and I got a bit sick of it, but I got the platinum in the end, so it is what it is. And then Walking Dead. I'm no stranger to The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us. Both 1 out of 10s, 10-hour platinums from the Telltale series. These come up a lot in lists, they come up a lot in trophy hunting in general, how easy they are, but, you know, at least they are of a certain quality. They'll never be considered shovelware, and that's why I appreciate them, because they are really, at the end of the day, good games. They're good games, and they do the subject matter justice a lot of the time. Even Game of Thrones had merits to it. It was, you know, every now and again there was a good scene, but these ones are the cream of the crop. These 2 in a row, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, I would gladly replay now. And well, I probably wouldn't play The Walking Dead actually, because I've played it 3 times for the platinum, so I am a little bit sick of it now, but I appreciate how great it was when I first played it. Oh, and then you got a Time Splitters game. Nice. Future Perfect. I went for first in the world to platinum Time Splitters. I made a video stating I was first in the world, and then, I don't know, a few months later, someone points out to me I'm not first in the world. I think it was my mate Tones Goes Moo. He's like, oh, does it say you're first here? And, you know, someone had updated the PSN profiles leaderboards a few months later, and I usually leave it a few weeks before making like a bold claim. You know, it's completely on me. It was absolutely my fault. Oh, I thought I was first, so all I did was edit the Time Splitters video title to "Oops, second in the world." It was like first in the world. It's so funny. So yeah, I would like to play Time Splitters 2 and 3, but yeah, that's quite a funny story about Time Splitters 1. I love the series. I grew up on it. And it's very close to my heart. So I'm glad you got that. Then we're seeing Tinykin. No idea what that is. 2 out of 10, 8 hours, 50%. Another easier 1 or 2 out of 10 games. Although the quantity that you have doesn't really concern me. You know, you're just playing stuff in between longer ones. I think you've got way more better games and rarer platinums Then you have 2 out of 10s, 1 out of 10s. But you probably enjoyed this anyway. You know, a lot of these games are enjoyable, I'm sure. Then we're seeing Titanfall 2, which I love. What a game that is. FPS mechs, and you're fighting different mercenaries and their own customized mechs. It's just really cool. It's like if Armored Core got a super smooth kind of campaign, and I say that with the utmost love and respect for Armored Core, but it's mostly about the mech customization to me, whereas Titanfall 2 about characterization and the story for me, and the gunplay is like Call of Duty in a mech. It feels like that. It feels very good, and the multiplayer was awesome. A lot of people struggle with the first trophy on this, which is like the obstacle course. I didn't struggle with it, and then I kind of just played the game and enjoyed it. Might be just me, and hard mode was pretty difficult, I think, from what I remember. I think that's a trophy. But all in all, great game, wonderful. Toy Story, and that's a PS1 game. Not played it, but I think this is a game they then added trophies to well after its addition to PlayStation Catalog, which gives me a lot of hope for Dino Crisis and Resident Evil, both classics that currently don't have any trophies. And we had the game show, we had a PlayStation State of Play yesterday. That's how late I've done this video skip. I've left it for a long time. Very sorry about that. But they announced Resi 2 and Resi 3 are coming to the PlayStation catalogue. So I hope with those two added, they add trophies to them, and then they go back and add trophies to Resi 1 and Dino Crisis. Can you imagine in trophy list reviews, you're going to see the OG Resi 1 to 3, and then Dino Crisis as well. You could do like a Capcom award or something. Be amazing. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Toy Story, is it reminds me of that. And you got Trover Saves the Universe, never heard of this, 30%, 10 hours, 3 out of 10. It's on the easier side, that's fine. No problem with that. The Uncharted trilogy, PS4. Again, this is a trilogy of platinums, and a few platinums that I'm jealous of. Mainly because it looks really messy in my list. I've played Uncharted 1, 2 and 3 on the PS3, but I only have the plat in 1 and 2. And yeah, it's just a messy kind of non-completed trilogy that I want to go back to. But then of course there's the PS4 re-releases, which I'm super tempted to load up and play. But it feels a bit weird that I don't have Uncharted 3 Platinum, and I believe it's unobtainable. Although I've read that it actually is obtainable with a friend, and you can do multiplayer. There's something about it, it's a trick you can do. And I went all these years thinking it was done, but I don't think it is anymore. So I need to look into it a bit more. But yeah, Uncharted's brilliant, wonderful games. Nathan Drake is a good character, good side characters in that, and this revitalized Tomb Raider, let's be honest, the inspiration became the inspirer, and vice versa. Now Tomb Raider is, pretty strong, and Uncharted is just a classic game. So yeah, really cool series. Undertale, the original indie darling, I guess. I would play this on Vita. I've probably watched more playthroughs of this than I have actually played it. But it looks bastard hard to me. 2 out of 10, when you're dodging everything, and maybe it's just that one character, the Bones boss guy, whatever he's called. And yeah, it just looks difficult. So good to know that it's not really that difficult. Maybe 2 out of 10, 5 hours, and I would play it on my Vita. So another game that I can enjoy on my Vita. Good to know. Unpacking is one of those quicker platinums. I've seen this on Steam, I think, and you're basically just organising a room. I think this is something you just play for trophies. Maybe this was an in-between platinum for you. Don't blame me for that. And then we're seeing Until Dawn, not the remaster, the Until Dawn remaster. Jesus, what an unnecessary game that is. But 2 out of 10, one playthrough in 15 hours for a 16% rarity. That's a pretty, low rarity, to be honest, for, this type of game. And once again, this is something I watched my partner play. We could list all those games that I've watched them play, and we'll come up with Until Dawn, Walking Dead, Telltale games, all those kind of games, they would be on there. So again, this is something I could play. I like the look of, love the characters, but again, it's just something I've watched like it's a TV series or something. Wanted Weapons of Fate. I think this is an old PS3 game. Yes, it is, but you got it in 2017, a good 8 years ago. 4 out of 10, 22. I've never seen a 0.5, a 22.5 hours. Who's done a guide and for, yeah, we'll add half an hour onto that. I think this is just one of those kind of high octane action games. I don't know much about it, but it being a PS3 game, I'm interested, so that's cool. Warhammer 40k, I nearly bought this today. It's like 25 quid in game. I've got a bit of birthday money to spend still. 12.5%. I want to play this game. It looks and feels, it doesn't look like a PS3 game. It feels like a PS3 game from what I can see. And I love the original Space Marine 1. I've nearly bought that today as well. Re-bought it, because obviously I've owned it before. And that's like a tenner in CEX at the moment, although I'm positive I won't be able to get the multiplayer trophies anymore. But yeah, this is something I want to buy. I'm very interested in. There's something I like, there's something I'm not that interested in. You know, out of the multitude of open world games and what you can do in them, Watch Dogs just doesn't really interest me. I can't, you know, I don't remember the name of the character from 1, I don't know the name of the character in 2, and they just come across to me as kind of generic. And I remember how undersold they, you know, they oversold from the trailer even. They absolutely oversold what you could do in the trailer, this, you know, manufactured trailer, compared to what you could actually do in the game. There was a massive difference, and they kind of lost trust. I think they might have regained it with Watch Dogs 2, because I hear that's pretty good. Still, it's nice that you've got both games in the series. Isn't there a third one you could get? I'm pretty sure there's a third one, but again, I don't know much about them. And then you've got Wattam, something I definitely don't know about. 10 hours, 3 out of 10, 20%. Another easier game on the side, but yeah, none of these looks shovelware to me. 37 trophies, you know, it's a full game. What Remains of Edith Finch, that is a platinum. Yeah, someone asked this question actually. Was there a platinum that came up that you then wanted to try? And I was like, oh, Edith Finch doesn't have a platinum, but the PS5 version does, the PS4 version doesn't. And my partner actually went and got the platinum in this, so someone was inspired to get a platinum from one of the trophy lists, just not me. So yeah, they got the platinum for this, so well done indeed. So yeah, cool game, wonderful, very unique, really cool exploring game with some strange, like, fantastical segments. Very depressing, but still, it's a cool game. I do like it. And then something I do have, you got Wolfenstein: The New Order. I didn't realise this was 6 out of 10, but yeah, it's a pretty hard shooter. I really like the dual wielding in this, and the character. All the characters are really good actually, and it just, you know, it's just a wonderful game. This feels more Doom to me than some of the newer Dooms, if that makes sense. You know, they all come from id Software, the id Software umbrella. You got Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake, the holy trinity of excellent games, and I love them all, honestly. I still need to play Wolfenstein 2, and I'm so inspired by Score at the Platinum Vault to, you know, actually go for the Platinum, and I'll be using his guide, make no mistake, and I'm looking forward to going for it. I also have the Old Blood, which I would recommend to you. It's like a quicker, more bite-sized version of the New Order, but without losing any of that difficulty that I enjoyed from the New Order. Right, now we're at the end of the list. This has seriously been, and it's no fault of yours, Skip, this is completely on me. It's been the longest review, and I actually tried re-recording it once, about halfway through, because I'm like, I must be rambling on about these games, and I tried to quicken them, and it ended up not that much shorter, to be honest. I think it's just the number of games and how many different games you have. There's one thing I'll say about your list, there's not like a series with 10 games, you know, you haven't got like 15 Resident Evils where I can gloss over and go, I love Resident Evil, yeah, that's wonderful. So again, that's not a dig at all. You've got a really good list, and I can't wait to hand over the awards. I'm just thinking of doing the awards as a separate video, and then people who want to watch the really long hour and a half you know, trophy list review can, but then I've got a shorter trophy list award video where people can not commit as much time. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's more of like, you've made me think of this in the long run as well. I might just do award videos going forward, but yeah, we'll talk about this in another video. So where was I? I think I was on Wreckfest, right? Which is, yeah, we're in the W's. So 2 out of 10, 12 hours. I always thought this was rarer. Is this an MMO? You know, I can't remember. Is Wreckfest like a car MMO, or is it literally like a Destruction Derby kind of not parody, like Destruction Derby, like we call it? 9.97% and 21 trophies, but 2 out of 10 in 12 hours. Something doesn't match up there. I'm curious. And then we're seeing a WWE game. God knows if this is the buggy one. If it is, I've got a feeling they're all buggy. You know, not vehicle buggy, just absolutely really buggy. So this is 5.59% and all 63 trophies, but it's 3 out of 10 and 50 hours. I haven't felt like playing a wrestling game since like the PlayStation 1 days, but I grew up with them on the SNES and even the Nintendo, you know, Royal Rumble and SmackDown and all that. And you've got another Legends of WrestleMania there. That's probably the one I would want to play because that's a kind of classic PS3 game and it's full of like all the retro wrestlers that I actually know. I have no idea what's going on with wrestling nowadays. I used to be a big fan, but this is going back 20 years or something. It's something I kind of grew up with in the 90s, and I always loved, you know, Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Big Boss Man for some reason. I was a big fan of him for some reason. No idea why. So yeah, they're cool platinums, and yeah, I think I want to go for the Legends of WrestleMania. So again, this list has kind of made me think about a game I want to play. That's nice. And then we've got a couple of Yakuzas, and yeah, cool. You've got, what, 3 Yakuza Platinums overall? And it's more than I have, and probably more than I will ever get. I just don't know where to start. I mean, Kiwami is the remakes, right? So I should probably start with Kiwami 1, I believe. I might be wrong about that. Or I can go to the PS3 games and just plat them. I tend to find a range in difficulty. You know, this one is 80 hours, whereas the Song of Life is only 40 hours. It's nearly, yeah, it's literally half the game in a way. 3 out of 10 difficulty compared to 6 out of 10. So I want to keep in mind where I might want to start if I ever wanted to try that series. But you know, I love Sega, and this is, I think this is Sega. Oh God, I don't know now. I'm cooked. My mind is frazzled. But yeah, that's cool. And you've got Ukulele, which I am quite interested in playing. It's like a throwback to the platformers of the N64 era. And I like lizards, so why not? 3 out of 10, 25 hours, 19%. I'll give that a go. Zero Escape for the I always think this is called non-binary games. So non-nary games. No idea what that means or how to pronounce that word. But you got 2 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 20 hours. This is on the Vita. I think this is a visual novel, right? In the same vein as Steins Gate and all those other games that are like that. It may even be part of the series that I know, but I won't be able to link them together. So yeah, I would play this on the Vita. The more games I can play on the Vita, the better. Which brings us to Zero Time Dilemma. Never heard of this one, but it's an older game, and it's on the Vita as well. 57%, but I'm going to look that one up and see if I want to play it. I'm quite interested. And then finally, you've got Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Is this a game by Rebellion, or am I thinking of something else? If it is Rebellion, I love them. They're wonderful. They did Aliens. They did AVP even. AVP Gold and Aliens vs Predator back in the day on PC. They did Aliens vs Predator on the PS3. I could be completely wrong, but I think this is Rebellion. So based on that, I really like the developer, and I'd be willing to try something like this, although there's bloody 4 of them now. Is this a good one? Is this the best one? Multiplayer as well, and 3 out of 10. Still, you've got 100% in it with a 1.01% rarity. Very impressive. Wow, okay, what a list. I'm really impressed. There's a lot to like here. I hope you guys agree. Even the games that are like, you know, 1 out of 10, they're good, well-known games, or at least, you know, stuff that I'm aware of. I've heard of both of these. So yeah, a lot to think about. Okay, see you shortly. Bye for now. Hello again everyone, we're on day 3 of this giant colossal list, and we're on to the awards, starting off with, of course, No Plat, No Problem, where we look at the 100% without a platinum. I always enjoy this bit because, you know, these games haven't showed up at all until now, and you've got a good fair few here. Abzu's really nice, Ape Escape 2, Brothers is cool, Daytona, something I have, I like that a lot. Far Cry 3 is really good. Firewatch I wanted to play, but I haven't quite yet. But yeah, nice easy 1 out of 10. Gone Home, yep. Journey, of course, iconic. Never heard of Randall's Monday. You've got the mighty Soma. And then the unobtainable and very rare Super Bomber Online. Yeah, some great games here. What Remains of Edith Finch, of course, the one without the platinum. So out of these, I'd say my favourites are probably Daytona, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon and Soma. I think the award will have to go to Soma though. It's quite simply one of my favourite games, platinum or not. The atmosphere is immaculate. I've talked about it a few times. It's quite a downtrodden and sad game, but just the story and the pacing and the environment and everything about it I just love. So I really recommend you guys to play Soma. And yeah, it's my favourite 100%. That gets no platinum, no problem. Okay, Skip, franchise fanatic, and to be honest, I'm finding it hard to pin down what you might really enjoy. And that's not a negative point whatsoever. Your variety of platinums is immense, so that's a real strength of your list, I think. It's just you haven't really got any platinum series with more than 3 or 4 entries in it. When I compare it to my own, for example, I've got like 15 Resident Evil, I've got 10 God of War. These are franchises that are like up there for me, and I could really quite easily say they're my favourites. With your one, you've got, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 platinums in a few series, like Assassin's Creed, you've got 4, Jack, you've got 4, and Battlefield, there's a couple, 2 or 3 Grand Theft Autos. So yeah, I'm finding it a little bit difficult to pin down, but I think I'm gonna settle on, and because it kind of looks so nice in your list as well, I'm gonna settle on Borderlands. You've got the trilogy here, which is really nice, and across a bit of a different time frame, and along with that you've gone with Tales from the Borderlands, which is a completely different genre. You know, it's a point and click adventure, a Telltale game, along with the FPS. So it's kind of a franchise that spans multiple genres in a way. So yeah, that's what I've landed on. Franchise fanatic goes to Borderlands. Please let me know if I'm wrong. I like to know whether I'm wrong on that and what franchise is actually your favourite. Your next award is Time Committed, and man, looking at your list and sorting it by guide time alone, and then looking at the platinum in X time, you've got a massive amount of platinums that require an insane amount of time. It's really impressive. So look, this is like the last maybe 10th of your list, and we're already reaching 50 hours per game. Some of these games have taken you years, which you return to, which is something I love to do. And you just keep scrolling down and it just gets better and better. 80 hours on Elden Ring, Final Fantasy 15, the wonderful Monster Hunter Wilds 87.5, that's more like 100 I'd say. And then we're reaching, you know, the top, the cream of the crop, the top 5 there. Destiny, Fall Guys, Plants vs Zombies, The Crew, and Grand Theft Auto 5. I've given it to GTA 5 before, but I think because that can be boosted and I'm not super familiar with it, you know, the multiplayer and the requirements there, I want to give it to Destiny, and a couple reasons for that. This is one of your longest platinums, as well as being a huge time requirement. It's taken you 10 years 8 months to get, which is, you know, nearly rivaling my Final Fantasy 13, which I think took 11 years to get. So I want to give it to Destiny because it really showcases your dedication to going back and getting a platinum from an older game, as well as it requiring, you know, 100 hours. I know this is a long game because I got it myself, and I like Destiny, so I want to show it a bit of love. So yeah, time commitment goes to Destiny today. And now we're on to the Trophy of Regret, which is one of the more fun awards because it's completely based on my assumption of what you kind of regret, which I think is hilarious. You know, just some guy on YouTube saying, I think you regret this, but sometimes it's quite obvious. And with your list, yeah, I'd say it is kind of obvious what, you know, you have played just for a platinum and perhaps an in-between game. If we sort by difficulty again, and we're looking, oh no, this is by time required, so actually this is quite a good indicator, because you start to see the 4-hour games. And I don't know, I was going towards Hitman Go at first as a second place, I guess this is, because you got it with a guide, I think, for 5 hours. I think that's following a guide. And if this is anything like my experience with it, I was bored out of my mind and I regretted not playing it properly. Because it's a really good premise, it's a fun game, as well as Lara Croft go, but all that is thrown out the window if you follow a guide. I was going to go on that, but then I kind of took notice of My Name is Mayo, which I normally do give this award to, but I'm going to give it to My Name is Mayo 2, and the only reason for that is because of the time difference between the first game and the second game. And this might be a really recent, I'm going to call it a blunder, you know, a really recent thing. Your list is excellent. There's not much to fault with it at all. But you've gone and got another shovelware a month ago, and it was looking so good up until then. And, you know, this one could be excused with, I was going for a milestone or something. But this one is inexcusable, my friend. So yeah, I'm going to give the trophy of regret to the sequel, My Name is Mayo 2. I hope you understand my reasoning. My simple award next, the never-ending journey I like to give to the most recent milestone in your PlayStation Profiles kind of trophy list milestones. For you, that is platinum number 200, and it is Monster Hunter Wilds. Something obviously I love and very near and dear to my heart, the franchise as a whole. And this game was really enjoyable. It was your 200th, and it was my 250th. So hopefully we have similar tastes there, although I remember you don't have any other Monster Hunter Platinums. So my question to you about this would be, are you considering going back to Platinum any other Monster Hunter, and whether you've started any yet? I'm going to continue with Wilds, whether it's got trophies or not. There's some really good updates to look forward to. A summer one with my favourite monster Laggy is coming, and after that we'll just be waiting for the announcement of the inevitable expansion, which always adds more, at least more trophies. With Rise, they added loads of DLC. With Iceborne, which was the expansion to World, they added a whole separate platinum. So I do hope for that, but we never really know. So yeah, wicked milestone, number 200, never-ending journey goes to Monster Hunter Wilds. The heart and soul of the Trophy List Reviewer, Mode 47. This award goes to my favourite game in your list. So unfortunately it's kind of tethered by games I've only played. It's restricted to ones I have the platinum for, which is kind of unfortunate, but as the more I play, the more that will expand. So you've got a load of games that I love in here, Battlefield 1, 4, we've got Injustice, Chivalry 2, you know, all these are brilliant. I think it would probably go to Monster Hunter Wilds, but for the sake of not awarding an award to the same game twice in a row, I'm going to go all the way down to something very, very close to my heart. It's going to go to Tekken 8. Now, Tekken 8's gotten a lot of problems lately. Season 2 was insane, but I said before when we were talking about Tekken, it doesn't affect the platinum, really. There's not many online trophies. I can't really remember how many, but it's a 2 out of 10. You can get this in 7 hours. It's such an easy platinum. The entry level, the skill level you need to achieve this platinum is minimal. Absolutely minimal. It really is more an introduction to fighting games and the mechanics within them, and you can earn a platinum whilst learning that. And what I hope is that when people play this for the platinum, they see how cool it is, they see how cool the characters are, how hype the moment-to-moment gameplay is, and they stick around and try out some ranked, or maybe actually try and learn a character. It literally, this is the definitive heart and soul, because Tekken is one of my favourite franchises of all time. And even with the problems, I think it's worth giving a go, and you can learn a fighter whilst getting a platinum. So yeah, please play Tekken 8. The final award, the crown jewel, what we consider your best platinum to be. Not always the most difficult, not always the most rare. A bit of a combination of what I think is impressive and what I've learned about your list going through it. So we're sorting by difficulty, and you can very easily see you've got some nice 10 out of 10 Fall Guys, Evil Within 2, 8 out of 10. And it just, yeah, this top page here is wonderful. It starts with Destiny and Wolfenstein, Titanfall 2, These are some really difficult platinums going down. And then you've got some really cool unobtainables here as well. But I think I'm going to settle on the Crew. Now the Crew is something admittedly I don't know much about, but it's an 8 out of 10, 140 hours, so a massive time commitment. It's taken you 9 years, so out of this page here it's taken you the longest. But on top of that, this is fully unobtainable. If I go to the list here, there's a warning here that this trophy list contains only unobtainable trophies. And this is because Ubisoft took the whole thing offline. They stripped the digital license off of players. You can't even load this up and get past the main menu now. I'm quite sure you can't play this ever again. There's no trophy ever to be earned. So this will forever be 0.93% rarity. It can't get any higher, it can't get any lower. So I think that's really impressive that you've got this set in stone time snapshot of this platinum, and it's going to be your rarest trophy for a while. It is literally your rarest platinum. So there's a few reasons why that gets the crown jewel basically. Okay, Skip and everyone watching, thanks for sticking with this juggernaut of a list. It's certainly been my longest review. I'm not sure if that's because of the variety, or maybe I've just got a lot to say about a lot of the games. But either way, we're on to the final rating, and I've really enjoyed this list, Skip. I'm pretty sure you've told me in comments that I would enjoy it, so that's an indicator that you know what I like. I mean, the only shovelware present here is premium shovelware of My Name is Mayo 1 and 2. Other than that, you've just got some easier games, admittedly, but they're cool games that you've wanted to play. I can feel like you don't really play the games for the platinum. I feel like you're playing these games because you want to try them, and you're just playing what you want, which I really respect. On top of that, I love that you go back and get these trophies that you're missing from years ago. This reminds me of myself and how I play games. So that's not really a bias for extra points or anything. I just think that's a good trait of a trophy hunter to have, that they can go back, play these games and earn the platinum many, many years later. And the time in between there is, I think it's wonderful. You grow as a person, your likes and dislikes change, and you see games in a different light once you go back to them. I think that's really cool to think about. And on top of that, you've got some really good unobtainable platinums all over your list, whether they're PS4 or PS3 games, and a lot of PS3 games as well as some nice Vita games. The variety here is amazing as well. I really appreciate how many different genres you enjoy and what you can tackle, along with the harder platinums that are like 8 out of 10s and obviously Fall Guys, and yeah, some really good stuff here. So I'm going to fall on 8 out of 10 quite easily. 8 out of 10 for the trophy list, I think, as a whole, which I hope you're happy with. So to round all off, we got 58% completion, 205 platinums, and an 8 out of 10 score from me. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Certainly a long one. I'm thinking about separating the videos next time. A separate video for the long list review, so people who want to sit down and put that on in the background can do so. And then perhaps just the trophy awards as a separate video, where that shorter form, people can watch that in 10, 20, 30 minutes. I mean, over 2 hours long is a hell of a long video, but it'd be interesting to see how it does, and I hope you guys enjoyed it either way. So yeah, thank you once again for sticking with it, and yeah, we look forward to the next one. Take it easy for now, and see ya.